Street Talking Other Stuff, Mike Mad Dog Magnotti. Thanks for tuning in today. I appreciate you being here on this Monday morning, or if you're watching through the week, however it is, I'm glad that you tune in. But here, I want to say that I was at the No Kings rally at the park on Saturday, and it's had a tremendous response. I believe we had 1,500 people there, is what the paper said. Other detractors said it looks like there's only 200 or 300 people. I'm sorry, no, it wasn't. Probably close to 1,500. Great crowd, peaceful, everybody was positive. But if I could just mention, detractors have said, if we had a king or if we had a dictator, you wouldn't be allowed to do this. And they have a point to some degree. But we have to realize dictatorship or kingship doesn't just appear on the scene. It slowly grows from one point to another. And what we're seeing that man doing is slowly eroding our rights. For example, deporting citizens. Now, you can argue he didn't. They were children. They had to go with their parents. But if he gets away with that, which he is with his with his supporters, it's just going to allow further abuses. Taking away things from the courts, okay, denying their existence. His press secretary saying that the courts and the legislature don't have the right to limit his power, which is contrary to the Constitution. These things are like the story of the frog in a bowl of water that starts off cold and slowly heats up. The frog doesn't really pay attention, never jumps out. We people who are standing up for our rights and for the Constitution are taking it, recognizing the eradication of our rights and the attempted dismantling of our democracy, doing it early, and we're speaking up now. So nobody can say later on when things get really bad that nobody said anything. So, okay, I'm rambling, but I'm sorry. I thought that the rally on Saturday was great. I appreciate very much people being there. And I just want to say thank you for your support, for standing up for America and the Constitution. Okay, Street Talking Other Stuff. Okay, I'm done. I've got a really cool show today. My guests are probably going, why is he talking about that crap? He should be talking about us. But we will. Good show, a couple of great guests, some upcoming live theater opportunities that you should be have the opportunity to engage in. But hey, Street Talking Other Stuff. You stick around. We will be right back.
You trust the same doctor for your health and the same dentist for your smile. Trust Global Car Care to keep your vehicle running strong. We track your car's history so it gets the right care at the right time. With our 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty on parts and labor, you'll drive away with confidence. Global Car Care, your automotive experts. We service all makes and models, but specialize in Sprinter vans, Mercedes, Audi, Volkswagen, and BMW. Call or visit us today.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
Tour Moses Lake just a gas tank away. With its abundance of outdoor activities, Moses Lake is a great place to visit. From fishing and boating to exploring the city's attractions, there is no shortage of things to do. Whether you're enjoying any one of the variety of restaurants with the family or an adventure-filled day with friends, Moses Lake has something for everyone. TourMosesLake.com and start your adventure today.
Welcome to Boswell's, where you'll find quality furnishings for every room in your home. Customers ask, do you have solid wood options? Yes, they do. Bamboo, maple, acacia, cherry, mahogany. With 2 floors of quality furniture and complimentary design services, Boswell's design team can create a home that's uniquely yours. For almost a century, people have chosen Boswell's for their quality and customer service. Boswell's Furniture, it's closer than you think.
Okay, we're back, Street Talking Other Stuff, and I want to say the Music Theater of Wenatchee, for all the great theater groups and live theater opportunities we have in this community, they're doing something unique, which is a new director's workshop. Now, I have two people with me today. Cam Curtis. Cam, how are you, buddy?
Nice.
Okay, and Josie Meets. All right. What Music Theater has done is giving these two new directors, people who've never directed a show before, the opportunity to learn and have hands-on experience in directing a show. And I think that's a cool thing.
Yeah,
okay?
it's very cool.
So, all right, so let's start. Cam, just a little bit about yourself, okay?
I've been in Wenatchee for the vast majority of my life,
Okay.
and I've been doing work with MTW for the past 8 years.
Quite some time, yeah.
I mostly do backstage. I've assisted, directed, and stage managed before.
Okay.
But this is my first time directing,
All right.
and I felt like it was time to take
Well,
that.
see, that's the whole point, you know?
Yeah.
But okay, great. So you lived in Wenatchee most of your life.
Mm-hmm.
Where have you been otherwise?
Ellensburg briefly.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Well, brief time in Ellensburg. They don't probably do it for anybody. So. Okay, Josie, how about you? A little bit about yourself.
Grew up in Wenatchee, went off to college. I did all the drama programs at the high school and such, and so then when I moved back to town, I got involved again, so most of my time has been spent on the stage, but I was involved in the last previous directors' workshops the last 2 years.
Right,
One
right.
did Almost Maine and then Laramie Project.
Right.
But this one has a bit of a different angle, I guess, because rather than everyone working on one show, it's Cam and I got to pick our own one-act plays and just kind of run with it.
Okay, all right. And that's
Yeah.
been, see, before, it was a group of people working on one show.
Yes.
Like Almost Maine, for example, there are a number of different vignettes that each director took, and you kind of broke it down with the Laramie Project, same type of thing. But this time, you came up with the show you want to do, and I said, okay. You took the reins and running with it. Okay, so what's your show, Cam? And again, try to be careful about, giving away too much. But
I'm doing The Actor's Nightmare by Christopher Durang.
okay,
And it follows George Spelvin through a dream. He wanders onto the stage, is told he needs to go on, and has no idea what's going on. And then several scenes happen throughout different plays, and it is a wild ride.
okay. And who's playing George?
J.J. Hernandez.
J.J. Hernandez. Okay, you may remember J.J. He was actually, he and I worked together in It's Only a Play a few years ago, and then just recently Black Comedy, which played earlier this year. J.J.'s a lot of fun.
Yes.
But what made you pick that play? Okay.
First and foremost, it's very, very funny.
Okay.
And that, sells tickets.
That's always good. Yes, comedies are great. So,
Secondly, I think it's very relatable.
okay.
I feel like even if you're not an actor, you've had a similar dream to this. And,
Yes,
and
I have theater dreams all the time, and they're not comedies.
yeah, I think that it's easy to empathize with George in this
Okay.
play and to be drawn in and really feel what's going on.
Okay. Well, I haven't seen any of it. The only parts I've seen that the parts that you had people audition for. So I'm deliberately staying away because I'm looking forward to seeing it fresh and that kind of thing. But who else is in the show?
Caroline Renzel.
Carolyn, right? Carolyn was also in Black Comedy. Great actress. So.
Shelley Heron, I think this is the first time she's been on an MTW
Oh, cool.
stage.
All right.
John O'Gwyn, who is this is also the first time that he's been on.
Oh,
an
got
MTW
some
stage.
good. Isn't that
Yeah.
cool when you get newcomers like that? Yeah.
And Skylar Cuthill, who has been a regular.
Skylar's been
on our stage.
around a little bit. So.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And am I forgetting someone? How many people was that?
You may- All right. Well, keep
I think
thinking.
that's
Keep
everyone.
thinking. All right. What's the show you're doing?
Well, I'm doing Edward Albee's The Zoo Story.
The Zoo Story.
Yes,
yeah.
and luckily I have a wonderful mentor director named
Really? Who would that be?
Mike Dog McNaughty.
Okay, well, look, while you got that, why don't
yeah.
you explain the mentor directorship thing since you brought it up?
So basically, when we first talked, it was, I'm going to let you run with it, but not let you fall on your face. And it's just been a good collaboration, I think. We both see different things. I feel like I'm much more invested in the text and how things come across, and you're a little more like, this is the way it's going to happen, and sometimes has kind of that the stature in the theater world to use the vocabulary that I wish that I could use without coming across as a
All right, I hear you.
complete yahoo.
I hear you. All right, well, Cam, explain the director. What is this mentor director? I mean, what is the process that music theater is set up to help you guys do your first directorial experience? So,
First of all, I did forget someone. Tara Sokol.
okay, Tara, that's right. Okay,
Yeah,
Tara.
and she's been in a couple of productions.
She has. Okay.
Secondly, Cynthia Brown has been my mentor director, and she has been.
You've had what they did when you were going to pick a play. They said that you needed to work with somebody who's had directorial experience. Okay, all right. So go ahead, talk about
Yeah.
Cynthia then.
Cynthia has been an amazing resource during this. She's
Yeah.
been through it so many times,
Yeah.
and she's given me notes. She's given the actors notes. This play would not be nearly as funny without her.
Okay, yeah, very experienced, and she is the one who actually, a few years ago with Almost Maine, started this whole process of giving new people the opportunity to learn how to direct, okay? So Cynthia's been working with you closely, helping you out, and it's been a big help.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me again how great your mentor director has been.
Oh, it's just a ball of joy to work with.
Yeah, I'll bet. No, it has been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun. The Zoo Story, though.
Yes.
You know, Edward Albee is not somebody who currently is well known, but back in his heyday, he was named as, I think he won some sort of accolade for being one of the best new directors around. But what brought you to The Zoo Story?
So I went to poetry school. I got my MFA in creative writing and poetry.
Okay.
And so when I returned to Wenatchee and I started doing more stuff on stage, I thought, oh, maybe I'll try my hand at a play. So I thought I'll give myself a crash course in all the greatest playwrights. So I got Tennessee Williams, Eugene O'Neill,
Sure.
and of course Edward Albee's Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. And I was just enthralled by Albee.
Yeah. And Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf was the first play of his that you read,
Yes.
right? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I got a little more invested in the Albee library, and The Zoo Story was actually the first play that he wrote. He wrote it in about 3 weeks when he was 30. And the premise is it's a well-to-do publishing executive reads in Central Park, and then he's
Right.
approached by a younger kind of vagrant character. And
Very interesting character.
they get into all sorts of existential conversation.
Some sort of dialogue.
Some sort of dialogue. Yeah.
So, okay, well, you're not giving away too much.
Yes.
you
Nope.
know?
Nope.
All right, well, what I find interesting about The Zoo Story is that, except for our producer, Jeff Anderson, everyone on the cast wasn't born the first time I read The Zoo Story back in high school. But Edward Albee is known for being somebody who's one of the preeminent theater of the absurd authors. And though this play really isn't all that absurd,
No.
okay? But it's interesting, and quite frankly, I'm not going to give away too much. What is one of the things that people who come to see The Zoo Story are going to be most impressed with? Are we on the same page here?
I think the actors.
The actors,
Clint Barkay and Lane Nifner, they threw themselves into it.
Yeah.
I created a rehearsal schedule that was, I think in the time that we did this, it rivals the demand of the Apple Blossom musical.
Yeah, I think so.
They were there every night to, run lines and really get into who these characters are and bringing them to life. And I couldn't have asked for more malleable, but just ready to do the work actors.
Yeah, and I remember don't worry, Kent, we're going to get back to you, okay? But I remember early in the rehearsals that I impressed on them, and you did as well, the importance of learning their lines, because I constantly say you can't really act until you know your lines. But one of the things I was getting at is that one of the actors has literally a 5-page monologue, okay, which this particular actor has done very well to learn, is doing very well with, and I think people are going to be really drawn in by it. So it's been an impressive bit of work on his part. So and also your part on helping him through all this. So okay, so Zoo Story, great, interesting show.
Yes, very
okay,
interesting.
all right. Now, what drew you to? Tell us about this play. Again, I don't want to give away too much, but what kind of challenges have you had? Doing a comedy is more difficult than doing a drama. I will admit that. In some ways, yes. Yeah, in some ways.
that has been going through the play enough so that there aren't jokes that go over my head. There are a lot. It travels through several well-known plays, and making sure that I know all of those plays. So that jokes don't go over my head. Was an important part. That, and at this part in the process, the biggest challenge is patience.
Patience. Explain that. What do you have to have patience with?
Trusting in the process, and that things will come together when they need to.
You know what happens when you pray for patience? You have opportunities to be patient. All right, but you've got a good cast. How are they gelling together? I mean, have there been any?
It's been great. They have been so professional, and I couldn't have asked for a better first cast.
All right, because you got some strong personalities in there, but they're working well together.
They are.
Okay, good.
And they're taking direction exceptionally well.
Good.
It's been really great seeing what's in my head happening on the stage.
Okay. All right, well, look, we're going to take a quick break. All right, talking with Cam Curtis and Josie Meets. They are two new directors who are producing or putting on two plays, An Actor's Nightmare and The Zoo Story. Now, I do want to say this. These shows open this Thursday night. Tickets can be purchased at the PAC, at the PAC website. How much are tickets, by the way?
$23.
I think they're $23.
Right?
Okay.
I think it's 20, but then if you buy them online,
you buy them on the PAC. It's going to
service fee.
They've got the internet fees.
it winds up being 23.
It's cheaper than going to the movie theater.
This is nothing for the quality of entertainment you're going to get. And this is really a cool thing because it gives you the opportunity to not only support local theater, but to support these guys who are willing to take the challenge of putting their talent out in front of you and offering it, saying, hey, look, this is what we have for you. But this is going to be a couple of good shows. So, hey, we're going to take a quick break and then come back. But Street Talk and other stuff, you stick around. We will be right back.
It's the NCWLIFE Community Calendar, a presentation of Apple Valley Honda. The 2025 Wenatchee Pride Festival will be held on Saturday, June 21st at Memorial Park. It's an all-day party and everyone is invited to celebrate equality and inclusivity. There'll be lots of vendors with items for sale and swag, food booths galore, live performances, a youth activity area, and the return of the ever-popular Queer Garden. More information is available at wenatcheepride.org.
Welcome to the summer of good. Good people, good taste, good vibes, and good, well, everything. When you're ready for some old-fashioned good, Abby's is your place. We've been celebrating summers around the P&W for over 60 years. At Abby's, good is a legendary tradition. Here's a good-looking pizza, guaranteed to bring some summer smiles. And right now, it's on sale, so it's good for your wallet too. This giant is loaded with toppings and can feed up to 6 people. Order at abbys.com. Give us a call or just drop by. It's the summer of good, only at Abby's Legendary Pizza.
The joys of sitting in traffic, burning gas, donating your paycheck to parking enforcement. Or you could join us this June for Ride Transit Month. On Link, you ride for free, anytime, anywhere. Plus, Link's electric buses run on clean local hydropower. Thanks, Columbia River. So while you're saving some cash, you're also saving a planet. So hop on board Link for Ride Transit Month. Stress-free, wallet-friendly, eco-smart.
The pitch by Busich. The Wenatchee Apple Sox are back on the NCWLIFE channel. Watch as they take on the Victoria Harbor Cats on Friday, June 27th. Coverage brought to you by our Platinum supporter, Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. Also by Abby's Pizza, Apple Valley Honda, Biosports Physical Therapy, Coldwell Banker Cascade Real Estate, Global Car Care, Harvest Valley Pest Control, and Highlander Golf Course and Grill. Your exclusive television home for Apple Sox baseball is the NCWLIFE channel.
Okay, we're back. Street Talk and other stuff. Talking with Cam Curtis and Josie Meets. They are two new directors for the upcoming Directors Workshop that opens this Thursday night. Shows are Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, curtain at 7:30. But they run the next weekend as well, so you have 6 opportunities to see them. You can get tickets at the PAC, $23 probably total, very cheap for entertainment of this quality. But I guarantee you, you go see this, you're gonna come back and you're gonna thank me, okay? All right? So you both have worked as performers and backstage, okay? Cam, what did you expect about directing, okay? And I know you've done work as an assistant director, so you've had experience. But what is this experience like for you? What challenges, what things have come up that you didn't expect? What things are different than you might have thought they were going to be? Blocking, okay,
has been
interesting.
largely the challenges of the unique stage at the Riverside Playhouse.
Right.
And really trying to utilize all of that space rather than, I mean, any play you get is going to be written for a proscenium.
Sure.
And we don't have one of those.
Right,
so
right. We've got a half round.
Yeah.
Which is cool because people are right up close. So.
But
it is a challenge for what we call stage picture, you know.
Making sure that the people on the sides can see what's going on, and yeah, it's different.
Okay, has there been anything else that's come up that's been kind of a surprise for you? Or more of a challenge than you thought it might be?
Not particularly. Actually, scheduling was easier than I thought it would be.
Really? Okay.
It's gone. It wasn't perfect, but it was better than I thought it was going to be.
Okay, because we always ask in the beginning what conflicts people might have with the rehearsal schedule. And I know you had some initially, but have people pretty stayed true to that?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right, because I remember last show I was in had some issues unexpected things. I forgot to let the director know I had a colonoscopy scheduled, so I couldn't be at the rehearsal that evening. But that's okay. All right, how about you, Josie? What's been different, or what's been a challenge? What hasn't gone as expected, and what has been something that you said?
A challenge that I did not foresee is articulation, and being able to articulate what I was trying to convey to the actors. And I've noticed that I'll do it 3 or 4 times in different variations, and they're still not getting it. But then they're confused to the point where they're doing exactly what I want them to do.
Okay, you mean articulating to them what it is you want.
Yes,
okay, yeah. That is a challenge. You know?
And also, I would say, like Cam said, the blocking of, you know, I had it all pieced together in my head, who was going to move when, and then.
So you did that before rehearsal started?
Yes, and then getting into it, it's kind of like, well, they are becoming this character. I just need to kind of let them do what they're going to do, you know, and tell them, you know, do that, but do it 3 feet back so these people can see you too.
Yeah, and your show, it's interesting because there's a lot more freedom that an actor normally would have for the movements and deciding what they're going to do.
Right.
But there was a major change that Josie made. I think this is okay. Everyone who's ever done this show has set the main piece of stage setting dead center. Josie moved it over, and adjusted it at an angle, and it made a huge difference. It really does a lot for the actors being able to move and for the stage picture, as we call it.
Yes.
Okay, so Cam, how did you block your show? Was it blocked in advance beforehand?
Roughly. I wanted to allow the actors to feel where they wanted to move, and then adjust from there.
Okay.
I had some general ideas though about for the use of the entire stage of I want you to come down on this line, or be in the bomb for this line.
Okay. And are you comfortable with that process?
Yeah. It's been good.
Okay. Because like this is something I've told, when we did the actors workshop last year and I came to talk to you guys, I said I feel it's important always to have a show blocked in advance and have it recorded. Now there will be changes and and adjustments, but that's what your assistant director is for, right? To make sure they're keeping track of the blocking changes. Now tell us about your assistant directors. I'm not even sure who yours is.
Vicky Michael has been.
Vicky, great! Yeah,
the
the Edith Head of Music Theater. She's our costumer for this show. So
yeah. And she's been great. She has done everything asked and been really on the ball.
Right. Yeah, I've been there at most rehearsals, and she's just great to work with. And I tell you, as a costumer, I tell this story frequently. When we did Streetcar, she was my costumer. At one point, the 2 girls, Blanche and her sister, come out to go out on the town, and I didn't like what they were wearing. I said, But then I realized that was just my personality. And so that's exactly what girls in that stage, that time of the year, would have been wearing. So no, she does a great job. Okay, so you're assistant director.
Yeah, so my assistant director is my coworker, Jenny Rodas.
Oh,
we're both
she's
staff
also a,
yeah, we're both staff reporters
paper
at the
reporter, right.
Wenatchee World, and I thought this whole showcase was an opportunity for new people to get involved with theater, and she had been interested in getting involved ever since she saw Grease. And so one day in the office, I went up to her and I said, "Do you want to assistant direct?"
Oh, cool.
And so be at rehearsal tonight, and I think that she's enjoyed herself. I hope she has.
Yeah. You know, I did that a couple of times with new people. Actually, when I cast Blanche in Streetcar. Now, this gal had experience, but only limited parts. But then when I did one of the best shows, I'm sorry, Music Theater has done, Exit Laughing, a gal named Desiree Schmidt, who had been in Little Shop of Horrors, and I just knew she was somebody who had talent. She was an excellent producer. Emma Standerford has been my assistant director on a number, no, not Emma, her sister, doggone, forgive me, girls. Jane Standerford has been my assistant director on a number of shows, and this was, I think, the first time she did it too when she worked with me. But it's good when you have an assistant director, that helps quite a bit. So, okay, so, are you going to direct again? Is this something that, because I'm going to tell you in a minute what one of the biggest challenges of directing is.
Okay.
But go ahead. What are you going to?
Yes, I do think that I'm going to direct again.
Okay, you like it, huh?
Yeah, it's been enjoyable.
All right. And how have you felt, has your personality and your style of management, so to speak, working with helping the actors? Okay. Because I know some directors are not pleasant to work with, and I've been lucky I haven't had to work with any of those yet.
I think that they've enjoyed it. I'm pretty low key.
Okay.
I'm not really a yeller.
Good.
But I know what I want, and they take direction so well.
Okay,
like,
good.
It very rarely takes us very long to.
Any issues with them learning their lines? Because that's always real important for me.
Not as much as you would think with our shortened schedule. They've all been pretty good with that.
Okay, and are they articulating and projecting enough? Will people be able to hear and understand them?
Absolutely.
Okay.
No mics necessary.
All right, great. All right, how about you? Are you thinking that this is something, I kind of like this, I think I may want to try this again?
I do like it. I think that it all comes down to the material. I'll have to find a play that I really like. I would love to do Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, but I feel like maybe a couple more shows before I tackle that.
That's going to be a tough one to get past. I tried to get a good actor's play past the board, and somebody said, "Nobody wants to do your boring drug addict play, Mike." Thanks, Cynthia.
But yeah, eventually. I don't know. I also could see, a possible like high camp spoof comedy musical type thing.
Well, there was a show you were thinking about doing, okay, which was, do you remember?
No.
Arsenic and Old Lace?
Oh, yes, yes.
Because I remember you talked to me.
I did toss that around. That would be a fun one to do.
We did that some years ago. A gal named Lynn Bohart directed it. Had a great cast, was very funny. I played Teddy.
You could play Teddy again.
So, no, I don't know. Getting a little long in the tooth, that kind of thing. But no, that was fun. All right, but here, this is going to be one of the biggest challenges for you, I think, for people who have been performers who are now directing. If the show is good, what are you going to most regret?
Not being in it.
That you are not in it. I've been very lucky. The shows I've directed the cast has done a tremendous job. They've been very successful, if I say so myself. But I stand there afterwards. Oh God, I wish I'd been in this play. Okay, so it's a lot of fun, and you're having a good time because that's the main thing.
Yeah.
Your cast having a good time.
I hope.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate that. Okay, so again, Music Theater Wenatchee's Directors Workshop is coming up this Thursday night, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at the Riverside Playhouse. Tickets are available at the Numera Pack site. You can get them at the door probably, but don't risk that, okay? Go ahead and get your tickets in advance. That way it inspires the crowd, the cast, because they see people are coming. And it's good, but it runs this Thursday, Friday, Saturday night, and Thursday, Friday, Saturday night of the following week. So, great live theater, great opportunity to support local theater and these new directors. Cam, thanks for being here. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Break a leg, buddy. Same thing. Okay, we will see you tonight because there's a rehearsal. But hey, Street Talk and other stuff. I appreciate you tuning in today. We will see you next week. You have a great day. Have a great week. Bye-bye.